Hello again, this is Rim Stalker with the fifth video in a series of videos on how to do PI, or planetary interaction, profitably. If you remember, we had selected a gas planet and put two extractors, two storage facilities, and two launch pads on it. We were bringing up reactive gas. We set the extractors for a 24-hour cycle, and I had to move materials from the storage facility of each of the extractors to their respective launchers already. So we've got quite a bit of PI stuff to pick up here. We are now preparing to go pull all of the finished materials off and restart our extractors and begin it again. It has been a little bit past 24 hours, and that is okay. I'm in my trusty Epithol so that I can get everything in it. It will have more material. I do believe we'll be picking up either as much or more material than an Enteron 5 can carry. So there's a good reason right there, if you had multiple planets, to use an Epithol when you're dealing with PI. I'm going to bring up the planet in question from the PI window that we placed over here on the on our little link set here on Planetary Colonies. Remember, it's the little gas planet right here, and let's just take a quick peek. Here's our planet. It always zooms in like that. That's fine. We're going to pull back. There's our two extractors, all the heads feeding them. See, this one, the launch pad is already just full. I had to move from here to there. And we'll look at this one as well. Also full. So we've got a pretty good amount here. Notice also the extractors are extracting nothing. At the end of your cycle time, whether it's 1 hour, 24 hours, or 14 days, at the end of your cycle time, it does turn off. So it won't continue to just load up. It will turn itself off, and that'll be the end of that. You can come back in 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and it'll be sitting there just like this, provided someone hasn't done something to them. But so that's all good. Ready to go. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close out of that. We don't need that. We're going to leave our little window open right here. We're going to open up our local. Always check your local channel out here before you pull out of the station. Always, always, always. For the simple reason, if there's a newt and you're in one of these epithols or whatever you're in, you know, they're not very spry, and that newt will get you. So always, always, always check local. Everything looks good. Everything's fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to undock. And everything's looking pretty good here. Still nothing in local, so we're good there. We're going to go to our POCO, the player-owned customs office, which is where you'll need to go to pick this stuff up at. We're going to get there. We're going to let me go ahead and adjust this up a little bit so we can see better. We're going to right-click on our planet. We're going to go down to Customs Office, and we're going to warp to within 0 of the Customs Office. Go ahead and minimize all that out. We're just going to go over here. Now we're going to need to access the customs office, so we'll go ahead while we're on our way. We'll bring this back up. I'm just right-clicking on it. Customs office, access, customs office. And then it'll bring it up. And so what I'm going to do here, I've got my little window here. This is the launch pad. This side, you can see that it points to the launch pad. We're going to have to move the items from the launch pad to the customs office. We'll go ahead and go like that. Then you'll hit transfer. And there's your full load for that. Come over here. We'll click on the commodities hold, and we will drag it over. Now, there's more than that. Now let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and bring this up. Now, since we're going to go into the PI, edit mode, we're going to bring up the planet. We will want to watch our local channel. You don't want to get so in depth and involved in this that you turn away from the local channel and newts pop in and you have no idea that they're there, because they'll show up and they're going to web you and it's going to be a bad day for everybody. So we'll go ahead and click that. Looks good. We'll just come over here and we'll do this one first. Now notice we pulled the material out of the launch pad. We put it in our ship. So we're going to take this, we're going to click on the storage and expedited transfer, and we're going to move it over to the launch pad. We'll get the second little batch there. There it is. We'll move it from the launch pad to the POCO. We'll hit transfer and we'll scoop it all up, bring it in here. What we're going to do here now is we're going to zoom out. We'll come down here, and now we're going to swap to the other launch pad, this one we're currently looking at. We'll go take the material from the launch pad to the customs office, hit transfer, and drag it from the customs office to the ship. If you don't hit transfer, it just kind of bounces back into whatever it is that you're trying to move it to. There we go. And there we go. So all told, we got about 33,000, a little over 33,000 M3 of that. Now some people can have a Iteron that gets up to 41, 42, 43, almost 44,000. Most people can't. This is still better. Notice 67,500. Once again, the Epithol is the better one to do this with. Now while we're here, and since there's no newts out there, let's go ahead and we'll restart our extractors. Per hour, 72,000 total, 1.7 million. We're just going to go ahead and hit install program. Come over here, move that down a little bit, and hit submit. Remember, got to hit submit. And it is extracting, so that's good. And same thing with this one. Now, I've had people say, well, when would I stop? 61,000 looks good. 1.4 million total, can't beat that. We don't have to update or upgrade anything. Everything's fine as it is. Now, I have had people say, well, when exactly would you start moving your extractor heads? We didn't have to do anything with these. They're still in good spots. It's still wonderful. Since we started at 60, whatever it was, 1,000 on this one, and the other one 71, I wouldn't move these extractor heads until that dropped down to somewhere, let's say, I don't know, 35, 40,000 maybe. Each planet is different. Each type of material that you're trying to harvest is different. But I typically never let any of my extractor heads sit on something below 30,000 units per hour. There's no reason to. You can rescan the planet and find a better place to put your stuff down. But this way, having like a 25% decrease cutoff or a 50% decrease cutoff before you shift them gives you a little bit of breathing room in between what you're doing with it, and you don't have to fool with it as much, any of that. So there you go with that. We'll just go ahead and close that out. Everything's fine. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to go back to the station. And we'll drop off the items. What we would like everybody to do is go ahead and contract the items to TSSOC, to the corporation itself. That way any one of the directors can go ahead and click accept and move it to the correct area. And we're on our way back. We've got our goods, and that's great. There'll be one more video about multi-processing on a planet. So instead of harvesting, we'll actually be doing the processing of all the stuff. And I do that, as you can have seen, on different planets. All the rest of these planets are processing planets. So when you do donate your raw materials, these are some of the planets it comes to. Thank you very much. That's the end of this video.